So, welcome, Andy, to this Oxygen Influencers podcast. And also joining us today, we have Richard from Nebula, who are the sponsor of Oxygen Influencers. Welcome both.
Thank you, Doug.
Thanks for having me.
Well, today we're going to be talking about using your influence. And, on that note, Andy, you were in the first batch of Oxygen Influencers the year before last. And these are people that are making a big impact, but from outside the boardroom and also put forward by peers. So not by me or by Richard, but by your peers. So first of all, what did it mean to you to be in Oxygen Influencers and to have been selected for it by your peers?
Yeah, it's a hugely proud moment for me to have that recognition. Is something I really do value. However, I have to say it's not just the recognition that's really been important for me, but the platform and the foundation it's given me to go on and achieve more, in fact. So it started a bit of a journey for me. In particular, you got the Oxygen influencers together, the OGs, the 25. And in that room, I felt completely out of place, like I didn't deserve to be there. But over the dinner and over the conversations and sharing ideas, I started to realize that, there was maybe multiple criteria for me to be in that room. And that was a really kind of a revelation for me. And since then, it's given me the conviction and the belief to go on and achieve even more since then, and take the opportunity to think about the circle of influence that I have naturally on a work level. Day to day, I'm there to look after MSPs and MIPs. But going forwards, I'm trying to expand that outside of work into friends and public, and even into schools as well.
Fantastic. And Richard, just to come to you as well, Nebula obviously supported the Oxygen Influencers for the first 2 years. So why do you think it's important for you to kind of shine a light on those people that are kind of breaking the mold, but from outside of the boardroom?
Sure. I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's been a learning curve for myself and the Nebula team being involved with this project, and just understand people's stories, because really it starts with people. It's people's stories and where their sort of purpose and their why lies. And I think when you start listening to some of those stories within the IT channel in particular, and it's from people that are technical backgrounds, sales backgrounds, ops, wherever they're from in that supply chain, there's a common theme, and that common theme for us is all about that sort of that human-led, purpose-driven, I guess, sort of approach to things, and the passion that sits behind those people. These are the future business leaders of our industry, in whatever guise that looks like, in 5-10 years time. So yeah, I think to have that platform to help support this initiative that obviously Oxygen Influencers has brought to the fold, and just go on that journey sort of with you guys has been quite humble. It's been quite humble. But also it's been quite interesting to help us understand what we should look like as a business and how we should be treating our people. Because at the end of the day, your people are your business; they are your brand. So yeah, that's been the enlightening piece from a Nebula perspective.
Just to recap, you work for Pax8, and just looking back at your Oxygen Influencers answers, just to get to know you a bit better. I think when we asked you who would you have play you in a film of your life, you went for Jason Segel, is that
Jason Segel, yeah.
Segel, I said it wrong.
Yeah.
That shows that I don't really know who he is. Was he in the Muppets? Is that right?
He did do the Muppets film. Every film he's done, I absolutely love, and How I Met Your Mother as well. The role he plays of Marshall in that is.
You've definitely got an affinity with him as a.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense as well. But also to look at your career, and also to look at your career progression since you were in influencers. Like every time I'm on LinkedIn, I see you on the stage at an event. You've been promoted multiple times. You've gone out and you've spoken at schools. You've done all these various things. So what's been the highlight for you since you were in Oxygen Influencers about 18 months ago?
That's a really good question. I absolutely love getting into the schools more than I thought I would. School for me
that's a new thing, right?
Yeah. In the last, it came out of the first influencer meet that we did, inspired by so many people there that were doing like school outreach programs, and school was a bit of a traumatic time for me, and something I wasn't looking forward to get back inside a school anytime soon. But it was the realization that I have achieved things maybe against the odds a little bit, or pushed on from what was necessarily written for me when I was born. And that story of being open to what is out there and how you can achieve things. I think if I knew how successful I could be in tech when I was 13, I'd have had a different journey for sure. Not that I have any regrets, but yeah, the highlight for me was getting in schools, going and giving the answers that the kids wanted to hear, even the ones that was like, the teachers were like, he cannot ask you that. You should,
Can you ask
don't
awkward
answer,
question?
don't answer. I was like, no, I'm going to give him the answer. I'm going to tell him how much I'm paid, whatever he wants to know. Because I would want to hear that, given the opportunity. And I remember some visitors coming into school, but didn't connect with any of them, even to the point where school was already in a bad place for me. But some universities came in and said, this is what's ahead of you. You can go to university and you can earn X amount more, and it costs this much. And straight away, I just didn't. The maths didn't add up to me. So to have someone that I think, my public speaking skills and everything, I think I can be quite inspiring.
Yeah.
And being able to do that outside of my day-to-day circle of influence, like I can talk to MSPs all day, like that's great within the Pax8 sphere, but be able to extend that into schools and share that with the wider world is great.
MSPs, or managed intelligence providers, MIPs as we now call them, or Pax8 calls them.
Yeah, I think we talk about, I get to talk at lots of events, Pax8 ones and other industry events too, and Beyond in particular is a big conference that we do at Pax8, and I love asking the question. I even had the cheek to do it the same day that Scott Chasen announced the MIP model. I said, hands up, how many people here identify as a managed intelligence provider? Obviously silence, obviously nobody, because they just heard it a few hours ago. Nowadays, every time I ask that question, there's more and more hands going up, more and more people leaning into it, and even other big hitters in the industry, even Microsoft, are leaning into that terminology and talking to us about that model, and it makes a lot of sense.
We've had it confirmed that it's definitely MIP, not MIP, as I suspected it might be. So I've been happy to be corrected on that one.
Yeah, and I think anyone calls MSPs MISPs. So yeah,
that's true.
MIP
that's a good
makes
point.
more sense, I think, for me.
Yeah.
No, that's a very good point. And so what is your role at Pax8 now? You've been promoted a few times, right?
Yeah, currently serving as Data and AI Director in the Academy team. So essentially, I have two parts to my role. It's looking 10 years into the past at enterprise businesses, my own experience as an architect in AI services from Wirehive and Pax8 times there as well, and also looking into the future. So that 10 years or so into the future, the channel is changing, the customer demands are already changing massively, and combining those two viewpoints really to understand, what the enablement need is. So I essentially have the ownership of the content strategy and enablement for all of EMEA partners at Pax8 when it comes to AI.
Definitely. And I just want to, giving a nod to another podcast, not person, but a recruiter who everybody knows it kind of insulted you. I saw it just a few months ago, said your unique job title means you wouldn't be able to get a job anywhere else if you were sadly had to depart Pax8. So could you just relive that moment? What happened?
I think I took it as a compliment. I think,
No, it was,
He said, that he's never seen my role before in the channel. Yeah. And that if I ever left Pax8, I wouldn't really find it very easy to get the same role as I have now somewhere else. Now, I'd back myself to still have a job at the end of what I do at Pax8 for sure, with everything I've achieved. But I think the spirit of it talks to this differentiation between marketplaces and distribution and what Pax8 really does. So there's other distributors out there that absolutely invest in enablement. That's for sure. Like, I'm not saying there is a huge difference there just because of enablement, but the fact that my specific role, just focusing on the kind of the content around AI, really leans into our purpose. So our purpose statement is to help small businesses achieve their dreams through the power of technology. Those small businesses are looked after by MSPs, MSSPs, MIPs as it starts to change now. Yeah. And we really think about that customer and how we can help the channel change to be able to really suit that. So we're really thinking about the vendors, the partners, and the customers in that ecosystem from 3 different sides around Pax8, which I think is the real difference, and why that role perhaps is maybe it doesn't now exist elsewhere. Maybe people are catching on, but I think the importance of having that laser focus on the future of enablement for AI in particular, I think it's going to grow that need, if anything.